Hi guys, my name is Sarah and this channel is Sarah the Surrogate. So in today's video, it's my kind of introduction to my desire to become a surrogate. So a little bit about me. I am 32 years old, married to the love of my life, and I have 2 children, and I'm currently 7 weeks pregnant with a surrogate baby. So I get a lot of questions of like, what made you want to do this? And like, what does your husband and family think about it? So we're gonna kind of go over all that stuff here in this video today. So I actually first wanted to be a surrogate back in high school. Literally how it came up was, I had a gay best friend and was like, well, if you ever want children, I'll be more than happy to carry your kids for you. And then I even said it to a couple of other friends, like, well, if you can't ever have children, I'll be happy to have your kids for you. This was especially funny coming from me in high school because I was like, well, I don't ever plan on getting married and I don't ever plan on having kids. I came from a pretty dysfunctional family and I was like, I'm not doing that, right? I'm not going to be a mom. Don't have that in me. Obviously, that was not a true statement. I just needed to meet the right person. And I did, thankfully, in my 20s. So I've always felt really strongly about helping other families be the family that they've always envisioned, right? I felt that if you wanted a child that badly, that you should be able to have one. And what an amazing experience to help someone do that. So in my early 20s, I actually donated my eggs anonymously to a couple in the hopes that they might have children. I actually don't know if they were successful or not, but hopefully they were. They got like 22 eggs out of me, so I hope something came out of that, right? And then I actually even looked into becoming a surrogate in my early 20s, but because I had never had any children, I wasn't eligible even remotely to do that. So, of course, then I met my husband, and I remember telling him on our first date that I wanted to one day be a surrogate. So he's actually known for a really long time that this would one day come up. But obviously, when we were having children, it was not the right time. So we had our 2 children, and after we had our 2 children, he was pretty much like, well, I'm done having kids. And I remember saying to him in our bedroom, like, well, I don't feel done having children. And not so much having our children, which of course I would love to still have more children with him, but I didn't feel done giving life, giving birth. I felt like that there was still more life in me to give, like literally life in me to give. And I remember telling him that, and I was like, I don't know how else to explain it, but I was like, I just don't feel done. And then I remember coming home one day from work, and it just came to me. That feeling was because I was meant to pursue helping another family have the baby that they had envisioned in their lives. And when it came to me that I was meant to help another family, that the time for the surrogacy was now, I actually knew immediately who I wanted to offer it to. Like, it was instantaneous. And there was never any fears or doubts that like I was meant to pursue this. So I came home and I told my husband, and I was like, well, what do you think about this? And he was just like, oh, okay. And so I let him kind of stew in thinking about the surrogacy for a couple of days. And I remember coming back and saying, well, what do you think now? And he's like, oh, I haven't actually thought about it. And I was like, oh, well, can you do that? Because I'm actually kind of serious. And he was like, okay. So we had, of course, multiple conversations over many, many days. I started doing my research. And, finally I was like, can I just go ahead and reach out to this couple? Because I actually don't even know if this is something that they would want or could do, because IVF is insanely expensive. Using a surrogate is insanely expensive. And I'm not even going to ask for the typical compensation for a surrogate, just like coverage of costs, essentially, and loss of wages were my biggest things. Like, I don't really need to be paid to do this. I'm aware that it's obviously like a lot of time and a lot of energy and could affect my family, but as long as, everything is taken care of and any extra assistance I might need is provided for, I was pretty much like, I don't need the additional, I don't know if you call it an income or just compensation for my time. But nonetheless, despite that, there is, again, a lot that goes into this process, and that requires a lot of time and money. So my husband agreed, like, yes, go ask and we'll see, right? So I did. I reached out to my intended parents and said, hey, is this something that you would be interested in? And of course they came back and were like, yes, we would love that. And so that's kind of where we're at now. when it comes to the rest of my family, most of them in my family on my side knew that this is something that I've wanted to do, right? Again, I've been talking about this since high school, so this was not like a surprise to anybody that I was interested in now pursuing. If anything, they're all really excited and like, I want to meet the intended parents and I want to get to know them, because they're so excited for me and for them. And so they're all pretty much on board, right? You know, I probably have a brother who's like, I don't really agree with surrogacy in IVF for personal beliefs. But other than that, it's not like anyone was like anti my surrogacy, except for my in-laws. You know, when they found out, that was a different story. So my husband's family has a lot of reservations and is not on board with it. So that's kind of put a little bit of a strain on our relationship, unfortunately. But otherwise, all of my friends, all of my family, my side, are very happy and very excited and really supportive, which has been great. And yeah, so here I am, 7 weeks pregnant with my surrogate baby, and I'm pretty excited. And I want to share this journey with other people so that they can kind of get an idea of what it is to be a surrogate and like all these little nuances. Because quite frankly, I don't know any surrogates. Who else does this? I know they're out there. I know they exist, but like, who are these people? And so not having really anybody to talk to about this was like, well, I need to share my story, you know? So I probably will keep updating and putting things out there like that come up, and kind of just let you guys in on what this world of surrogacy is like. So I hope you enjoy these videos, and if you have questions, please put them in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to answer them in future videos. All right, thanks.